Okay, everybody, today's date is August 11th, 2021, and my name is Leslie Williams. Now, check it out. I'm here at Vaughn's, and what I found to do is I'm going to take a photo of my eyes. Well, I'm actually going to show my eyes, not a photo, just because this is a video. So what I'm going to do here in a second is take a video picture of my eyes. Now, I'm going to do it at this spot, and then I'm going to move over to about 6 feet in front of me so I can get a different lighting setting. Hold on one second.
Okay, but I'm trying to go sidetrack with Brayden. My point! Amy, bringing that up.
Okay, so now what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for eye fluid and or water bubble sacs. Okay, on the surface of my eyes, which then in turn, on most dates, causes the backside of the biofilm light crystal ocular OCCULAR remote neuromonitoring, non-consensual remote neuromonitoring eye lens implants out, making them transparently visible. So if you want to kind of get an additional pictorial image in your mind, what I'm referring to, if you were to take, let me get this out here so I can kind of show you. If you're a smoker, and most people who don't even smoke are aware of it as well, when you buy a pack of cigarettes, these cigarettes, they got a cellophane on them that you pull off. You can probably see the small outline of them it right here. Okay. Trying to position it in a way. Let me just pull it off. Hold on. Okay, so let me give you a kind of just an additional pictorial representation in your mind concerning what I'm referring to. Now, this right here is the cellophane that just came off that pack of cigarettes I just showed you. Okay, now if you were to take this cellophane and lay it down on a hard surface, like say a kitchen table, dining room table, whatever hard surface, just a table. And if you were to lay it down flat, let me straighten it out just a little bit. So if you were to take this, okay, and lay it down flat on the surface of a table, after putting a couple drops of water on a table, and when I say drops, I don't mean drops of water that then flatten out. I'm talking about how a drop of water looks like a bead, okay? So if you were to like take an eyedropper and suck some water up into it and then take that water and drip it out onto a flat surface like a table, and then once it lands on the flat surface of a table as a water drop, and then place this cellophane on top of it gently, then what's going to happen is that the cellophane, since it's such a light weight, it's going to rest on top of the water drop while not pushing the water drop in so far, because it's such a light weight, it won't cause the water drop to burst. And what will happen is, if you can put, like, say 6 water drops on a table and two 3-drop rows, and then that are directly parallel to each other, no bigger than the width of this, and then drop this down on it by gently putting them on it, well, then what will happen is that the surface of each water drop will hold it. Well, that's the same concept. Any gang stalking victim who has these biofilm light crystal ocular eye lens implants in their eyes, which literally act as a visual video camera, literally, just hear me out. When you have these on the surface of your eyes, they're transparent, just like this thing is. Okay? But when the victim who has them in their eyes is hit with electromagnetic weapons, direct energy weapons to the face and or head at high degrees, especially continually for an extended time period, what that does is that those electromagnetic weapons, it causes the eye fluid in the eyes and the water in the eyes to start forming into bubbles, just like the bubbles you see when you're boiling an egg. Now, these bubbles appear on the surface of the eyes, which the biofilm remote neuromonitoring eye lens implants lay rested on the eyes. So when these bubbles start appearing on the eyes, either the whole entire eye or a partial part of the eye, it will push the back part of the remote neuromonitoring eye lens implants out, making them transparently visible. Now, whenever you see my videos, and if you see anything that shows even the partial outline of them, that's because what's behind that part is pushing them out, making them transparently visible. Especially ones where you see a light, and especially the ones where you see like gooey, you know, that gooey eye stuff that you get in your eyes when you wake up in the morning. That also gets trapped in there because that's fluid as well. And since these biofilm remote neural monitoring lens implants run directly across the entire eye, including the white part, this stuff gets trapped behind it. Now, and that's the reason why I showed you the cellophane and gave you the water drop example. Because if you place 6 water drops in 3 water drops in 2 rows, no wider on a table, no wider than the width of this, and then place this on it, what will happen if you gently place this on it, the cellophane of a pack of cigarettes, what will happen is that the top surface of these water drops will hold it. Okay? Absolutely. Well, it's the same concept. The biofilm rests on the eyes. When the eye fluid sacs and water sacs start to form into bubbles, okay, including real small ones, it pushes that back part of the eye lens implant out, making it more transparently visible. Now, if the victim has been saturated with electromagnetic weapons, the energy from that weapon lights up the light crystals. Okay? Absolutely. I've even caught this shit on videos to the point where you can even see the dotted array of the light crystals. Absolutely. In fact, check this out. I've even made videos after extreme. I think it was on either June 30th or July 28th or July 10th, when I was massively heavily targeted at a wooded area that I refer to as the 3rd New H area. This crime made me homeless. I was hit so bad to where it woke me up in the middle of the night. And so I got out my video camera and I turned on the flashlight inside my tent and I got out the video camera and I made a video in the middle of the night and then the next morning. And it literally even showed light crystals appeared to be lit up and embedded in the eyelid itself. Now, when you research some of the capabilities, features, and functions of remote neural monitoring, you're going to discover that remote neural monitoring, concerning how it's used in gang stalking crimes, is being used. Hold on. It's being used for sadistic torture, to assist in visual entrainment. And when you research some of the features and functions of remote neural monitoring, especially connected to gang stalking crimes, you're going to easily see that two of the main features and functions of why it's used on reported gang stalking victims is because that enables them, the satanic mass murdering, human trafficking, raping, gang rape, and whores that are interfacing with the victim remotely, remote neural monitoring, are able to send visual images and video streams to the visual cortex while sending audio streams to the audio cortex. Okay? In fact, check this out. Yesterday, August 10th, 2021, I noticed that a fellow self-reported gang stalking victim on Twitter, who has posted some very good things on Twitter concerning this crime, has openly stated, it's a woman, she attached a blog from Veterans Today. Hear me out on this one, baby cakes. She attached a blog post written by Veterans Today that I believe was posted on the internet on June 21st, 2021. It was definitely posted in June of 2021. And I brought it up, and oh my God, this blog was even titled that the targeting of targeted individuals is now self-apparent to be going on. What is the government going to do about it? And then it had massive amounts of links in it, videos attached within it. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. All right, it had massive amounts of pasted YouTube videos in it, which included videos of the testimony of hundreds of gang stalking victims who testified before the Bioethics Commission that President Obama initiated back in at least 2010 and 11. Now, we're talking about hundreds of gang stalking victims from all over the country went to Washington in those calendar years in order to testify about the torture they're enduring, and which also, I'd say at least 95% of those testimonies included them verbalizing that they're being subject to gang stalking as well. Now, so what Veterans Today did was they created this blog. Oh, it was one of the best blog exposures I've seen so far about this crime. And trust me, there's massive amounts of very excellent exposures about this crime on the internet. So, what Veterans Today did was when they reported it within a blog, Veterans Today, within a blog in June of 2021, they pasted these YouTube video attachments within the blog that shows the testimony of hundreds of gang stalking victims testifying before President Obama's Bioethics Commission, because gang stalking victims are being used for some of the most sick, sadistic, depraved, demonic, non-consensual human experimentation projects occurring all over the country by absolute wild satanic horrors and the useful idiots they use for it. Absolutely. So now, and not one of them got help. Not one of them got help. Not one of them. Still to this date. Okay, it's concerning that commission. And by the way, you should know that the president of the University of Pennsylvania at that time, Amy Goodman, was appointed to be the lead investigator of that Bioethics Commission. Well, you see, the government at the federal, state, and local level is the main reported host of those crimes, including using military weaponry, okay, for it. The United Nations has declared gang stalking victims as being extreme torture victims, which also include the non-consensual human experimentation, which also includes the nanotech, and as well as the electromagnetic weapons torture. So do you honestly believe for 1 second, my dear fellow American citizens, that any government, whether it be the United States, because this crime is also worldwide, do you honestly think for 1 second that our sick, bitch, human trafficking, mass murdering, wild, whore-ass government is ever going to admit, ever, that it tortured one victim for 1 second, let alone hundreds of thousands? Do you honestly believe tens of thousands of those are online reporting it daily? Do you honestly think for 1 second that it's going to admit to 1 second of it, ever? They know even the reported case of one victim, because you just would not believe how sick and depraved these psychos are concerning what they're doing to gang stalking victims. I'm aware of a gang stalking victim last night who, when they were sleeping, woke up in the middle of the night and their entire rectum and their internal tract from it and to it was being radiated to the point to where it literally woke them up. Okay? Absolutely. So you should research how gang stalking victims' private parts, including their rectums, are being targeted, and including the fact that it's also being widely reported that nanotechnology and different types of implants are being put in the private parts of victims, so these wild sadistic horrors can send energy to it in order to make the victim feel like their body internally is being tortured through electromagnetic weapon energy. This is just a very small millimeter expression of what's reported concerning these sadistic horrors. They're absolute animals. In fact, there are doctors and scientists right now on the internet, and have been on the internet, reporting the simple fact that these are the most sadistic wild horrors that have ever walked this planet. Doctors and scientists and professors are saying it. Nah. So do you really believe that any wild, criminally insane, organized crime government is going to admit to torturing one victim, let alone hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of those are online reporting it? So let me walk over into a little bit different lighting to see if my eyes are producing anything that's transparently, outwardly visible. If I get into better lighting, let's see if it's able to be picked up better. Because right now, I got two available light settings concerning where I'm at: massive sun and massive shade. Okay? And so what you want to do is you want to take snap screenshots. Okay? I think this is about as good as I'm going to get. So I'm going to look straight ahead, and then I'm going to look to the left, and then to the right. And what you want to do is you want to take snap screenshots of this. Okay. And what you should also notice is that when you have these types of biofilm ocular eye lens implants in your eyes, which literally allows the perpetrators to send video images to them, those video images then get processed through the retina to the optical nerve to the visual cortex, forcing the victim to see the depraved shit that they sent to them, literally in their visual cortex. And by the way, that Veterans Today blog I was talking to you about a minute ago, it literally talks about that as well. It talks about how victims' perceptions are being intentionally manipulated. Perceptions are done through your senses: sight, hearing, sound. Okay, sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. So, what I'm going to do is when I upload this video, I'm going to attach that Veterans Today blog in the description so you can bring it up. Okay. Now,
Hey, do you guys know today's date?
11.
Alright, thank you.
okay. Now, I can tell that there's definitely stuff going on with my eyes right now, and I'm in the shade. I can barely see my eyes right now. But I can even tell from the amount of shade that I'm in. Okay. And what you're witnessing right now is a direct a result of the last 48 hours of extreme electromagnetic weapons torture that was done to me at my wooded area. This crime intentionally made me homeless. Absolutely. Research that, the gang stuff. Do you honestly believe that any organized crime, demonic, depraved, satanic government that makes tens of thousands of women homeless all over America so they can then be eventually human trafficked in multiple forms, do you really believe that's a government that's here to keep you safe? They don't give a shit. They're wild animals. Absolutely. All right, hold on a second. Absolutely. And that includes single mothers and single fathers with kids. Okay? So they can then turn around and claim that that parent is no longer in a position to take care of their kids, who are then confiscated and put in organized crime-run foster care homes. So each child, they can apply for federal funds in each child's name. And then when they get a hold of the adult, they put them in group homes and do the same, and much more. So what I'm doing is exposing these satanic rats for what they are. Because let me tell you something right now, my fellow American citizens. Truth is a bitch when it comes to crime and corruption. It doesn't fucking matter if I'm able to ever prove this in court. Okay? Because these wild satanic whores, they run the entire system. They run the courts. They got influence over doctors, hospitals, medical centers, medical clinics. Okay? And I can already tell there's evidences being outwardly visible, outwardly, transparently visible in this video, because I can, just from what I can see from my eyes right now from a distance, and I got a lot of glare and reflection going on my home screen. Okay, that's preventing me to see the true, complete, amount of evidence. But I can, just from what I can see, it's massive. Oh, absolutely. So, after these sick bitch animals make you homeless, but they can do this to you in your home. When you research electromagnetic weapons torture of gang stalking victims, 98% of those victims are saying they're enduring it as they're in their homes, as they're at work, and even along their routes. Okay? So it's bad enough they fucking make you homeless and then intentionally keep you entrapped in it, which can also be assisted by and through the inaction of police. Okay? Which is why I can't, which is why I, in a healthy way, well, I don't trust the police at all in any way, shape, or form, because I already know their wild asses are completely controlled, okay? And many of them are directly connected to this organized crime syndicate anyways. I don't give a flying fuck about their mental posture or their attitude, because they're not but lying animals. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you were to take one of them and do this to them, they would have the same posture. Absolutely, because all human beings would have the same posture when it comes to abuse and victimizations, okay? But you see, these wild animals, throughout the entire campaign, okay, the ones who are intimately connected to it, which includes the police, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit at all. Okay? So look at this. Alright? Now let me just make this closing statement. When any victim of this crime has these types of biofilm, ocular, light crystal, lens implants in their eyes, when you shine a black UV light on them, the whole entire pupil shows up as a turquoise, and I've already made several videos, okay, that have caught this, both eyes. And then, but my retina is also showing a blue dot. Okay? Oh, absolutely. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is trying to get into the best light in here. Okay, and I've already made videos. The videos that are dedicated to the YouTube account you're seeing this video through, go in and watch the videos, because you're going to see at least 5 of them in there that show me showing a black UV light being shined on them. And as a result, the entire pupil is turquoise, and then the blue, and then the entire pupil is turquoise, and then the retina has got a blue dot in it, where they literally look like the Terminator eyes, concerning how the Terminator's eyes looked in Terminator movie 1. Literally, this is no exaggeration. Now, there's a book that's titled Brain Implants and Messages, Nanomachines, and the Creation of False Memories, written by Dr. Hilde Garde. Her name is spelled Hildegarde. That's the first name. Dr. Hilde Garde Staninger. And that's the title of the book. In that book, on page 8, which I got, not in my possession, but it's at an area where I got some property hidden at. On page 8, it wide openly discusses these islands implants. Hold on a second. Excuse me. And in the back of the book, it shows a picture of a woman as she's shining a black UV light on them. Okay, take a snap screenshot of how my eyes look right now. And then zoom in on them. Okay? And so in the back of that same book, it shows a woman who's got these same island implants in her eyes concerning what they look like when a black UV light is shined on them. Same thing. So if I was to walk into any eye doctor's office with my little black UV flashlight and asked him to pull the shades in the room or turn the lights off and shined and took that black UV small flashlight that I got and took it out and shined them on my eyes, there is no way in hell any eye doctor or even any MD, if I was to do this in front of them, there's no way they can, there is no way at all, period. From A to Z, from 1 to 10,000. There is no way whatsoever any doctor can claim that they're not there. So they're busted. They're flat out busted. Because if they were to deny that they were there, okay, they would show medical malpractice. So what they would probably do is use clever language of, I don't understand what that is, I don't understand what's causing that. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you, or I don't know what to put in the medical report concerning it. That's what they would be instructed to say. Because then they would have plausible deniability and try and say, well, I didn't engage in any medical malpractice because I didn't have a name for what's going on. Okay, but they would at least have to acknowledge that there's a foreign object in your eyes. And if you verbally told them what they are. Do you honestly think that eye doctors aren't aware of this tech? That's bullshit too. Because you can even Google it. So meaning that if the doctor claimed he didn't know what they were, all you had to do was bring up your phone and type in biofilm, ocular, light crystal island implants, and you could show them. So he or she would have no plausible deniability concerning not identifying them on a medical report. But you see, it's all over the internet that the satanic rats in the government, through the illegal in real time continued tracking of the victim, look at that, just look at that, okay? Through the in real time continued tracking of the victim, they can see that the victim is looking up eye doctors online. They can see that the victim is en route to the eye doctor. And this is already widely reported concerning all doctors that victims go to. Right? So it's outwardly, so it's being reported all over the internet, YouTube videos, Facebook posts, Twitter posts, blogs, and the whole 9 yards, that all doctors, gang stalking victims, go to see. Those doctors and or hospitals, doctors at hospitals, medical centers, and medical clinics have already been covertly colluded with and told what to do and not do concerning any and all effects pertaining to what has been done to the gang stalking victim's body through electromagnetic weapons, directed energy weapons, torture, ultrasonic sound bone conduction torture, and or any biomedical implants that were put there non-consensually. They're told to basically keep their mouth shut. They're told to not acknowledge anything, and it's even being widely reported that they're intentionally falsifying medical reports, radiology reports, and everything. And who is the main satanic bitch that has been reported online to be one of these covert colluding law enforcement agencies that is approaching medical centers and hospitals? The fucking DHS. And I just don't give a shit at all about what, look, it's reported by tens of thousands of victims that these sick bitch animals monitor every single online activity of all victims. This is one of the most widely reported aspects of this crime. So do you honestly think that they're not seeing what you're exposing? Of course they fucking are. Check this out. So what you want to do is bring this YouTube URL link up, and when you do, these ocular island implants, those are mine right there. The eye fluid sacs and bubble sacs you see on the surface of the eyes is a direct result of over 20 hours of extreme electromagnetic weapons torture to the head and the face. They were literally boiling my brain. Okay, and these are snap screenshots from a Periscope video that caught them in a live Periscope broadcast on June 3rd, 2020. That's a fucking literally. Those are my eyes right there. Now bring up that YouTube URL link and you're going to see a doctor exposing this and her detailing many of the uses of these islands implants, as well as the book I was referring to a minute ago. She literally shows the book in the video and shows what these islands implants look like when you shine a black UV light on them, which I'm going to show you what they look like right here. That's me. That's my right eye. Okay. This is a photo taken from a video. And let me bring up another one. I'm going to show you the left eye, and then I'm going to let you go. This is what they look like when you shine a black UV light on them. Okay, the entire pupil turns turquoise, and then the retina turns blue. These are my eyes. Put here non-consensually by satanic sadistic whores. And you would not believe the vile, sick shit that's reported in massive amounts of exposures to be sent, the type of images that are sent to them. Because the eyes literally become a walking, talking video camera. Literally. That's what the light crystals are. Okay? Just like you have pixels in a camera, pixels in your TV, same concept. So we're concerned what's reported to be sent to gang stalking victims' visual cortex by these wild satanic whores are, but not limited to, sadistic pictures and video streams of children being hurt in the worst imaginable ways possible. Because trauma, they're forcing the brain into a trauma state when the brain is being intruded upon in this way, whether the victim has knowledge of this technology or not. Children being hurt in the worst ways that you can imagine. Women being hurt in the worst ways that you can imagine. And it's also reported that these are used for electronic synthetic dreams connected to remote neural monitoring. Research all my statements. I made this video to inform, to expose truth. Who the fuck is tracking me to wooded areas and doing this sick shit to me at wooded areas? Because what I suffered and endured just in these past 48 hours, this is only a partial effect of them. Because the eyes have had time to heal this morning. And they gave me a partial amount of time for them to heal yesterday, concerning the previous day's intrusion. And trust me when I say, if they're not targeting the face and or brain, they just move to the organs and the bones. These are the most satanic, evil motherfuckers that have ever walked this planet. Everybody have a good day. Remember, snap screenshot my eyes as you're watching this video, and then zoom in on them, and baby, what you're gonna see is gonna blow your mind. See if I can get into one little bit better light here. Alright, I gotta go. Have a good day, everybody.